There was also another docket 375 of 07/2019. Are you aware of that docket?
Yes, my lord, I am aware of the other dockets.
Uma ke siyaqala le elu 636 selinikezwa ke ithimba lenu kwakunelinye ke noma kunelinye ke idokodo elu 375 ka 2019 ngabe uyalazi yini? Yebo ngiyalazi.
And as part of familiarizing yourself with the case in general, not a specific docket, would I be correct that you also familiarized yourself with 375 as well as docket 636 of 2014, I'm sorry?
No, my lord, I did not familiarize myself, my lord, with the phosphorus case 375.
Kulokho ngibuza kona ke ukuthi uma sesibheka ke noma sifuna ukuthi ke benolwazi ngeqala ngibheke ke u636 no375 cha u375 yena angizange ngimbheke.
Okay. Now let's go to what was put to you yesterday by my learned colleague, Mr. Mgomezulu. He referred you to two affidavits that were deposed to by Brigadier Ginda, a colonel at the time, or he was still a brigadier, I'm not sure about the title then. But he deposed two affidavits in support of the J50s to the magistrate at Boksburg Magistrates Court, A227 and A198. You remember those documents that were shown to you?
Yes, my lord, I remember the documents.
Ngiyakhumbula ke le statement ezimbili ebengibuze ngazo izolo ke Mgomezulu zakhe uBrigadier Ginda u-A227 no A198.
Because yesterday you said the questions pertaining to those affidavits should be directed to Brigadier Ginda. My question will then be, under investigations conducted by your team and the gist of why we are here, the theory of the state's case as per the investigations led by your team, you are aware of that theory, especially pertaining to accused number 2, correct?
I'm not sure what do you mean by theory, my lord.
Let me give it to you this way. According to the investigations that were conducted by your team, and as specified in this affidavit, especially 198 of Brigadier Ginda, he mentions all the accused persons, their profiles, how they are linked to this offense. That is the theory of how they are linked to this offense. Now, with respect to accused number 2, the theory is this, or the investigation led to this. One, that accused number 1 was, I keep on saying accused number 2, I'm sorry. Accused number 2 was linked to the offense, the commission of the offense, 1, via utterances made to private individuals about his involvement in the case.
That's correct.
Kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi ngokwalombiko ke noma le statement esenziwe uyena ke uBrigadier Ginda ukuthi uma echaza ke ukubandakanyeka kwabasola bonke okokuqala number 2 ngokuthi ngeinkulumo azenza kuba ebantwini abathize.
2, by the clothing he was wearing, that is a black hoodie.
That's correct.
Okwesibili ke ngaloko owayigqokile okwakuyihudi emnyama noma eyayimnyama.
And 3, via the identity kit, that is Exhibit J, compiled by Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp of the Facial Recognition Unit of the SAPS.
That's correct, am I aware?
Okwesithathu ke yebo ngiyazi ukuthi ke na ngomdwebo ke noma lokho kubizwa ngokuthi ke identity kit Exhibit J owawenziwe uyena ke uAmanda osebenza emaphoyiseni.
And over and above that, by the description of the people that were in the house at the time of the commission of the offense, and in particular, by the dog identification by Zandile Kumalo and by Tumelo Madala.
I'm not sure about the dog identification.
Futhi ke nangendlela ke achazwa ngayo abantu ke ababesendlini futhi ke nala enkantolo wase ekhonjwa ke abantu ababili uTumelo Madlala noZandile Khumalo uthi kumayelana nalokho ke cha anginaso ke isiqiniseko.
Let me rephrase this one of the doc identification. Let me say, by the description furnished or provided by the people or some of the people that were in the house on the night the incident occurred.
That's correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso ukuthi ngangendlela ke achazwa ngayo ngabantu ke ababesendlini ngalelo langa lelo lesigameko.
Now from that is what I meant by the theory regarding the linkage of accused number 2 to the commission of the offense. Now, with regard to that evidence, what has been led so far, and I'll deal with that at Syria team, is the evidence of the people that were in the house and the fact that, and I'm telling you that as a fact, Tumelo Madala and Zandile Khumalo identified accused number 2 here in the dock as the second suspect that entered the house that night during the incident on the 26th of October 2014.
That's correct.
Lokhu kona ke ngiyakutshela ke ngingangabazi ke ukuthi into eyenzeka khona la enkantolo ukuthi uTumelo Madlala noZandile Khumalo bathi ke uma bemilana bethola ubufakazi babo ke bamkhomba umsolwa wesibili nanjengomuntu ke lo owesibili kulaba abangena endlini ngalo babusuku kuyiqiniso lokho.
That is because I was probably here in court when they gave evidence. It's not something that I was briefed by Brigadier Kinenda.
Kungoba ke noma ngathi ke lokho kungoba ke ngangila enkantolo ke ngathi bethula ubufakazi babo hayi ukuthi ngatshelwa ke uBrigadier Kinenda.
And the one that I want to deal with now is the identification kit that was compiled by Miss Warrant Officer Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp on the 29th, if I'm correct, of October 2014. So I'm going to request my learned colleagues to assist me with deeming of, I think it's Exhibit J. And if you can also have, it's this document that deals with the facial analysis recognition. It's A, because there's various of them. It's A46.
I got it.
You got it. Thank you. Now, before we go to the identity kit itself, but let it remain there. My Lord, I beg leave to, just for background purposes, to praise the witness of what's contained in this affidavit. If I may read, it's only 2 pages there of page 4 and 5. Thank you, my Lord. And on the blue part, it says, case 636, 2014, phosphorus murder and robbery. Amanda Yvonne Steenkamp do hereby make oath and state that on Monday, 2014, 10/29, I was called out to phosphorus detectives accompanied by Lieutenant Colonel M.J. Streicher, Operationals Commander, Procedural, LCRC, to interview witnesses in case 676, I'm reading it as is, my Lord, 676, 10/2014, phosphorus murder and robbery. I interviewed several witnesses individually. My first witness was Kelly Khumalo. Kelly told me in short that she and the deceased walked to the convenience store. Upon return, Kelly, deceased and family member and friends had a smoke outside the house. Ms. Khumalo called them inside to say goodbye. They sit down and start chatting again. Kelly was sitting near the kitchen when she saw two unknown African males entering the house. Suspect A appeared very aggressive and demanded cell phones and money. This suspect approached Kelly and the deceased jumped up towards suspect A. A scuffle between suspect A and the deceased started. The next moment, Kelly heard 2 gunshots. She gave the following description: African male in his 20s, dark brown shiny complexion, dreadlocks hairstyle, no scars, no facial hair, golden insert in upper teeth, language, local Zulu. He was wearing a brown jacket with a wooden collar. He was not clean in appearance. Suspect A entered the house first. He was armed with an old black revolver. Kelly could not describe the second suspect. After the compilation, she was satisfied with the ID kit. She compiled the face with the headgear. The second witness was Kelly's sister, Zandile Khumalo. She told a similar version and gave a similar profile and facial description of suspect A. The only feature she adds was eyebrows. She saw the eyebrows when suspect A lost his headgear during the scuffling with the deceased. She could not describe the second suspect. The third person interviewed was Tumelo Madlala, who was much traumatized. He saw the scuffling between suspect A and the deceased. After hearing the gunshots, he ran off to one of the rooms. He gave a similar description of suspect A. I showed him Kelly and her sister's compilation, and he was satisfied with the identity kit. He could not compile the second suspect. The fourth witness was Mr. L.S. Twala. He gave a similar description of what happened on the scene. He saw a scuffling between suspect A and the deceased. After hearing the shots, he ran out to look for help. He could not describe the second suspect. Page 5. The fifth witness, Mr. T. Makalede, residing at Muzamo 3942, compiled the face of suspect B. He saw 3 unknown African males in the vicinity of the gas station, busy on the cell phones. He saw them again at Kelly's mom's house. Suspect B stood at the gate. He gave the following description: African male, 25 years, 1.80 meter tall, slender build, medium brown complexion, clothing a black hooded top. Witness saw a golden insert in upper teeth, hairstyle, dreadlocks, facial hair, mustache and beard. Witness saw something in his hand that could have been a firearm. Witness could not describe the rest of the faces. A sixth witness called Sipiwe could not compile any faces, but he mentioned that he saw an old green-blue sedan near the danger box. 2 unknown African males were sitting in the car, and the other 2 were standing outside the car. After a few minutes, the car left, and only 3 unknown African males stayed behind, and they were busy on their phones. The witness later saw them running. In front was a person with dreadlocks running with a firearm in his hand. The other suspect jumps over the wall. Lieutenant Colonel Streicher and I left Foster's detectives to see Ms. Khumalo at her house. I interviewed Ms. Khumalo at the neighbor's house. She gave a similar description of suspect A. I showed her the compilation, and she said she saw a likeness in the face. She could not describe the other suspects. Now, my purpose for this exercise, really, is this. If you look at the people that were in the house, that is, those that they gave the description of the persons that were involved in the commission of this offense, i.e. Kelly Kumalo, Zandile Kumalo, Dumelo Madala, Longa Twala, and Makumalo. All of those people, according to the affidavit of Warrant Officer Steenkamp, they could not describe the second suspect. And we know that here in court, that second suspect was attributed to be accused number 2, Bongane Sandiso Ntanzi. You see that? From what I've read, that the people that were in the house could not describe accused number 2, according to this affidavit.
My Lord, can I say in response to that, first of all, I did not dispose any affidavit, my Lord, in relation to this content.
Yes.
Yes.
Engizama ukuthi ngitshengise noma ngikuveze kuwena ke ngaloko engiqeda ukufunda ukuthi bonke labantu amagama abo ke esebiziwe aboKelly Khumalo, uZandile, uLongwe, uMakakheli ukuthi ke lo owesibili umuntu abazange bakwazike ukumchaza kuyena uWarrant Officer Steenkamp nanjengoba kuyena nje owayedweba siyazi ke ukuthi ngokubufakazi ke osebuthulwe la enkantolo lo wesibili ke okhulunywa ngayo kuthiwa ke uyena uaccused number 2. Okokuqala ke uma ngiphendula angikusho ke lokho ukuthi mina ke angikaze nje ngithathe ke istatement mayelana ke nalokhu noma ngisibhale phansi.
And my Lord, I have never ever had an encounter with the person who disposed, my Lord, of this affidavit.
Futhi ke angikaze nje nakancane ngihlanganeke naye lo muntu lo ekuyena owabhala ke lesi statement esifungele.
So I'm not in position, my Lord, to comment on what you are putting to me.
Manje ke angikho kisimo ke sokuthi ke sengaphawula ke kuloko wena okushoyo kimina.
Sergeant Mohola, you are a police officer, and I'm not going to cast any aspersions to you. As part of the investigating team, you assume the investigation of the case. And in the case docket, it says the previous 40 people that were fired, people are fired. Fired is used in this court, people are fired. The 40 people that were fired, investigating officer prior to yourselves, according to the evidence of Makubu, have done preliminary investigations, and amongst those, it's the identity kit, other investigations that were conducted prior to your team assuming or being seized with this investigation. Now, as part of familiarization, you will know that there is the identity kit that seemed to link suspect A and suspect B to the offense. I'm not saying you personally were involved in the interaction with Warrant Officer Steenkamp, or you personally deposed to a supplementary affidavit pertaining to this document. I'm just reading you the contents to say, do you see in what is written in this document, ex facie, on the face of it, it says all the people that were in the house, they did not describe any feature of the second suspect that entered the house. That's the gist of my answer.
We're sitting in the same problem that we had yesterday when Mr. Mgomezulu was cross-examining. We have these witnesses who have given viva voce evidence. They've expanded on their evidence. We submit that it's unfair now to go back after they've even identified accused number 2 in court, to go back and say, but there's this document that was compiled shortly after the incident, wherein the issues that Mr. Ramsepeli is referring to were traversed in Exhibit J. When they've given evidence, we submit that the proper way is to refer to that evidence to say, look, in totality, in addition, not only to this exhibit, but to their evidence, this is what they said. It's unfair to select just one portion of their evidence and to confront the witness with that. It's got to be based on the totality of the evidence, my lord.
Yes, Mr. Ramsepeli.
My lord, I don't know where the fairness is, because the witness can answer. If they can. And I've got the records. And you know, sometimes the objections are premature. Because I was going to refer to the description, the dog identification that was done by both Tumelo and Ms. Kumalo Zandile of accused number 2. I've got the records, I've marked them for that purpose. So let me run my cross-examination now.
But this witness, is she able to comment? You said to her she can comment if she's capable of doing so.
Yes.
She gives a comment that she was not involved in this type of exercise. She never even communicated with Steenkamp. So what should she say,
She
according
could
to you?
simply have said, I can't comment. She shouldn't give me an answer that is parallel to the question.
Are you able to comment, ma'am?
No comment, my lord.
Simple.
Kube bufakazi ke akukho engakusho ngoba kushushisi uthi ke akho ngendlela ukuthi ummeli manje ase uyabukhetha ke ubufakazi ngoba ke usengakuhlanganisa lokho akubuzayo ukuthi labantu yebo yiloko abakusho kodwa asho ukuthi kukhona ke nalaba ababili abefika ke enkantolo base bayamkhomba ke umsola wesibili athi ke ummeli cha bese bengizofika ke khona lapho kodwa ufakazi uthi cha akukho yena angakusho lokho.
And further, the other people that are mentioned here, if you can comment, a person called Sipiwe, mentioned by Warrant Officer Steenkamp, and a person called Makaleni. I can tell you as a fact that these are not the people that were in the house at the time of the commission of the offense. Would you agree with that? Sipiwe and T. Makaleni.
My lord, I can only comment on Makaleni because I was tasked to follow on him.
You were
Uma ukhuluma ke ngalabo abantu ababili ke uSiphiwe oMagaleni ukuthi ke babengekho endlini mina umuntu engakhuluma ngaye ke ukuthi uMagaleni ngoba ke nganikezwa ke umsebenzi ukuthi ke ngimlandelele.
Okay. What can you comment about the Sipiwe Makaleni?
That Mr. Makaleni has passed on.
Ukuthi ke uSiphiwe Magaleni usewashona.
So it's issues of Section 3 of the Evidence Amendment Act. So I'll leave it that it's a point of law. I'll leave it
But
at
has he made an
made
affidavit?
He has made affidavits, my lord.
Okay.
Yes. And this Sipiwe person, you were not asked to follow up on him because they only mentioned Sipiwe. There's no surname or details given.
No, my lord.
Okay.
Kodwa kuSiphiwe yena ke angazi ngitshela lutho ukuthi kufanele khona kufanele kwenze mayelana naye.
Just to leave on this aspect of the warrant officer's facial recognition affidavit, and I'll put this to you. If it's speculative, don't answer it. She says at the time she had 22 years experience in the police and about 17 years as facial recognition, and that according to the affidavit, she compiles it according to the description that is given by the witnesses. Now, hear me out. If you can answer, you can. If you can't, you can't. If she says these 5 people that were in the house could not describe accused number 2, as a police officer, would you agree with me that she could not suck that information from the vacuum? It must have been given by those people that she says they couldn't describe accused number 2.
May you please repeat the question?
A warrant officer of 22 years, if he says Makumalo, Kelly Kumalo, Zandile Kumalo, Tumelo Madala, Longwe Twala, did not give me the description of accused number 2. She didn't suck that up from the air. She didn't make it up. Would you agree that's a fair comment to make?
That's correct.
Kuyiqiniso ke uma ukuthi ke uwarrant officer Steenkamp lona ke ubhalile noma uyasho ke lapha ukuthi labantu laba uKelly Khumalo uZandile Khumalo uMakhumalo Longwe uTumelo abakwazanga ke noma babe kusimo sokuthi ke bamchaze umsola wesibili lokho kusho ukuthi ke into ayithola kubona akusiyona into ayicabangela.
Yeah, but for me, because Mr. Mgomezulu has put it that this is a cover-up. So you're saying, despite the fact that it has been put that the police, including yourself, were busy with a cover-up, you're still able to say, to give a comment fairly and not be subject to be giving a comment to cover up, as it is put by Mr. Mgomezulu.
My Lord, I'm just responding to this, my Lord, as an opinion. It's like he's making an example.
No, fine.
Because, as I said, I'm not the one who, I'm not the author of the statement.
Did you hear my comment about the fact that you are accused of a cover-up? Are you aware of it?
Yes, my Lord, it's actually the question that was put to me by Mr. Mgomezulu.
That's it. Now you're commenting on the investigation. Is it still under the cloak of you covering up? Just all I want to understand.
No, my Lord, there is no cover-up, my Lord, whereby, my Lord, I was involved in.
Okay.
Lo mbuzo ke oqeda uphendula manje ke ngiyabuzwa kumuphendula kodwa ke kunale nkulumo ke ekhishiwe noma ke ekhulunyiwe izolo yena ke uMr Mgomezulu ukuthi ke kwakunokuthi ke kwa cover up noma kwaku khona nje into eyahlanganiswa amaphoyisa lana ingaba lokho lo mbuzo oqeda uphendula manje uphendula ngoba ke ngalombuzo lo obuziwe noba ngaphansi kwaloko bekushiwo uyena uadvocate uMgomezulu ukuthi ninake ningamaphoyisa nje likhona nje itulo noma into enaniphezu kwayo cha mina ke akukho nje kwahlanganisa nokuthi ke bekhona nje into ephekayo noma ke itulo nje elihlanganiswayo.
Okay. Now, for contextual purposes and exactly what I said, I'll come to regarding the description that was given by Zandile Khumalo. That will be found, my Lord, at page 48, the transcript of 19 July 2023. I think they'll show it here.
You can't see.
19 July, page 48. Page 48 from line 15. 48. It starts where, perhaps if I go to line 14, where Ms. Khumalo says, as I'm here in court, I saw the gentleman there. Yes, that's the line there, 14. And then just before the screen, it says, Mr. Baloyi, which one is it? From your left is accused 1 up to accused 5. And then Ms. Khumalo says, suspect number 2. And Mr. Baloyi says, yes, can you just, if you say suspect 2, what do you mean? Ms. Khumalo, suspect 2 is the one that had the hoodie following the one with the dreadlocks. And Mr. Baloyi, now, are there any specific features that enabled you to say that accused 2 is the second person who was in the house? We're going to page 49. Ms. Khumalo, on that day, as I explained, that I took a crutch and together with Tumelo tried to assault the person. I was with him and I looked at him very well. Mr. Baloyi, and how far were you from him, Ms. Khumalo? Our kitchen is very small. As you can see from the previous pictures there, that the stove is close to the sink is close to the door. So it's very close. Mr. Baloyi, are there any specific features that enable you to identify him? You have already placed the description on record, but you say you see him in court. What reminded you or what enabled you to say he's the person who was in the house on the day? Ms. Kumalo, his whole face, I remember well, his stature, his body, as well as his height when he was standing. Now, did you see accused number 2 before the incident? No, I did not. So those are the descriptions, and there's also a description that she gives with respect to what she added at the identity kit compilation with Mrs. Yvonne to the effect that she only added the complexion and she added the height. So that is the description that was given. But my point is that this description, as she gives here in court, identifying accused number 2, was not given to Mrs. Steenkamp at the compilation of the identity kit.
Please, my lord, I think that's a matter for argument.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but this evidence was traversed by yourself, Mr. Ramsipidi, when you were cross-examining Zandile Kumar.
Yes. So
And now we are repeating the same evidence again.
now, I was just clarifying on the aspect that the objection was based on, my lord. I couldn't leave it hanging. Now, let us move forward. Upon the arrest of accused number 2 on the 16th of June 2020, subsequent to that, the 17th until they appeared in court, was there an identity parade held where the people in the house had to identify accused number 2?
My lord, I have no idea because I was not tasked, my lord, to arrange any identification parade.
Ukuthi ke emuva kokuthi eseboshiwe ummangalelo wesibili ngey17 ukuya le phambili ke ukuthi ikhona yini ikhomba parade eyenziwa ke la abantu beyomiswa khona ke kuletho fakazi ukuthi bayokhomba khona, angikwazi lokho, angikaze ke ngitshelwe ke noma ngicelwe ukuthi ke angihlanganise lokho.
Now let us go back to the incident of the 18th of June 2020 when you, Brigadier Ginda, attended upon Sibanye Stillwater Gold Mine in Carltonville, and you met Sergeants Mabena and Mohani, who were already at that mine. Remember that date?
That's correct. I remember the incident of Sibanye.
Ngiyakhumbula ke ngesigameko sasesibanye nge18 kaJune la sahamba khona ke kanye noBrigadier Ginda sasesihlangana phambili ke naye uMabhena noMukhani.
And I'm just going to summarize your evidence and correct me if it's misquoted. You stated that upon arrival, Mohani and Mabena had already done inquiries. Brigadier Ginda asked them if they've got any document to show that accused number 2 was not at work on the 26th of October 2014. Do you remember that evidence?
That's correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso ngiyakhumbula ke ukuthi uma sifika lapho ke babe sebebuzisile ke futhi ke uBrigadier Ginda wabuza ke ukuthi kwakukhona yini abanako okutshengisayo ke ukuthi wayesemsebenzini noma cha umangalelo wesibili nge26 kaOctober 2014.
And Brigadier Ginda says, okay, let's go and get those documentation from HR. And according to your evidence, Brigadier Ginda and the 2 sergeants go inside the building, perhaps attending to HR, and you remain in the car doing some other administration. You remember that?
That's correct, my lord.
Ngasho ke nokuthi uBrigadier Gininda kanye nabanye nabosargeant laba babini ke bangena ngaphakathi bona mina ngasala ke emotweni ngenza omunye umsebenzi.
Now, after a while, they come out, the three of them, Brigadier Gininda, the two sergeants, they talk amongst themselves. Perhaps let me ask you, did Bongani and Tanzi enter with them in that building when they went to HR for the second time in the company of Brigadier Gininda?
They went together, my lord.
Yebo bahamba bonke noma bangena naye ke uBongani uNtanzi uma sebe buyela lapha ngaphakathi behamba naye uBrigadier Gininda.
Now they exit, that is now the fourth of them, accused number 2, together with the 3 police officers. In your absence, they talk amongst themselves. Is that your evidence? Do you remember that?
Upon their exit,
Upon their exit now, once they've been to the HR to obtain whatever documentation they needed to obtain.
that's correct, my lord. They were just there next to the car.
Yebo kuyiqiniso uma sebebuya ke babese lapha yana ke eduze nemoto beyikhulumela bona bona.
And were you privy or could you overhear their conversation?
Not at all, my lord.
Ngizwanga ke ukuthi babekhuluma bethini.
My lord, if I may approach. I mean, that's it, my lord. Now they talk amongst themselves. What then transpired after that?
My lord, and then Brigadier Gininda jumped into the car, and then we went to Eratin.
Emuva kokuthi sebekhulumile ke uBrigadier Gininda wangena emotweni sase siya ke eEraton.
Whilst there at Sibanye Stillwater, was there an occasion where the police officers, maybe in your absence of presence, went to the medical section of the mine to get documentation to determine whether or not accused number 2 had any injuries, in particular on his legs? Did you attend to the medical section?
I did not attend to any medical section, my lord.
Angizange ngiyeke la ekumayelana ke nempilo yakhe noma la kwayiwa khona ke kwihlangothi ke la ngasesibhedlela lapha emayini kufuna uyobhekwa ukuthi kwayinokulimala awayenako onyaweni lakhe yini umsolo wesibili.
And per your recollection, did Brigadier Gininda, together with the 2 other sergeants, perhaps attend to the medical section in your absence?
My lord, I have no idea.
Ukuthi baya ke bona uBrigadier Gininda kanye nabanye osargeant laba babili anginalwazi.
What I know is that they went inside the building.
Yes.
So as to which section they went to, my lord, I have no idea.
Engikwazi ukuthi bangena ngaphakathi kubuilding lelo ukuthi baya kuphi nendawo ke khona lapho angazi.
Because that place is big.
Ngoba le ndawo inkulu.
Now, since your arrival with Brigadier Gininda at Sibanye Stillwater, did there come an occasion where Brigadier Gininda requested to speak in private, one-on-one with accused number 2?
My lord, as I said, I was in the car, I was busy with the work that I was doing. So as to whether there was a time where one was with the suspect, my lord, I really have no collection of it. Because I was concentrating on what I was doing.
Bese ngishilo ukuthi angisemotweni ngibhekeke lokhu engikwenzayo ukuthi kwakunesikhathi ke la khona uBrigadier wayikhuluma nomsolwa yedwa eceleni angikwazi ke lokho bese ngishilo ukuthi ngibheke umsebenzi lokhu ngikwenza.
Perhaps if I pass it here with you, because I'll take it also up with the Brigadier. He says at some stage in his testimony in the trial, within a trial, he stated that at some stage he requested to speak one-on-one with accused number 2. And that he confronted accused number 2 with this. identity kit of the two sketches of a hoodie and the look-alike of a celebrity person this side. I'll be sued if I tell what the name is. This one here. The hoodie with dreadlocks protruding up to here, and put it to accused number 2 that this looks like you. It's got your likeness, and accused number 2 says, I'm not involved in the commission of an offense. This is a case of mistaken identity. And accused number 2 never at any stage then said, I want to confess. Brigadier said after showing these two accused number 2, he then left the motor vehicle that they were in, and as he is leaving, is it too long, Mr. Jonas? You must stop me if it's too long. As he's leaving that motor vehicle, one of the police officers there, yourself or Sergeant Mohan or Mabena, says, accused number 2 is calling you back. He wants to speak to you. And that's when this thing of I want to confess came into the picture. So I'm just passing it here. It's not your evidence, but I'm just for holistical purposes, for contextual purposes, because this is the gist of why accused number 2 is here. And if I may ask you this, as you went to Sibanye Stillwater Gold Mine in Carltonville on the 18th, did Sergeant Mohan and Mabena have the case docket 636-10 of 2014 with them, or yourself and Gininda have 636 of 10 docket with you?
My Lord, what I know is that Brigadier Gininda was the one who was in possession of the dockets. As to whether there was a point where he has given a docket to Mohane, my Lord, I have no idea. And right now, my Lord, at this moment, I can't tell if he was having a docket or not, my Lord, because he will have his bag. So if maybe he did take it out or something, my Lord, I will comment, but I have no idea. As I said, I was in the car and I was focusing on what I was doing. If maybe I was involved in their communication and Brigadier excused us, I was going to be able to comment, because it would click in my mind that there was an instance whereby we were there and the Brigadier asked that we excuse him. So right now, as I said, I was just focusing on my work.
Ukuthi ke mayelana nedokoto noma ke wayiphethe lalikumkhane engikwaziyo ke ukuthi ke uBrigadier uyena ke umuntu ke owaye idokoto lihlala kuyena ke, kodwa futhi nesikhwama sakhe esiphatha ukuthi ke sasikela like nake ngalesa sikhathi angazi noma njengoba bengisengishilo ke ukuthi ngangihlezi emotweni uma kuukuthi ngangiyingxenye la ababe khona ke mhlambe ke ngangizoshoka ukuthi hayi kwakunesikhathi ke la khona asicela khona ukuthi asisimele eceleni. Udaba ke lo besaluza ke ngaphambilini noma abelusho bengasona ke umbuzo umayelana naleyithombe ezimbili ke la athi khona ke omunye lo uyafana ke nosaziwayo kodwa ngeke umshoke ukuthi ubani, ukuthi ke uBrigadier Gininda uthi ke wakhulumisana uBrigadier Gininda kufakazi bakhe uthi ke kukhona la akhuluma eceleni ekhuluma naye ke uBongani Intanzi, wase embuza ke futhi ngalesithombe lesi ethi ke lana lo muntu okulesithombe uwena ke futhi noma ke unelana afana khona ke nawe, washo ke umsola wathi cha akusimina ke lona akukho kumhlanganisa nenzala elenziwa. Kamuva ke wasephinde yabizwa ke uBrigadier ngokusho kwakhe kubufakazi bakhe ke omunye walamaphoyisa amabili wathi cha kukhona ke afuna ukusho uBongani, kodwa ke ufakazi kuloko akaphendulanga.
My Lord, will this be an opportune time to take the short adjournment?
Okay, what's the time, Mr. Balogun?
It's 11:15.
It's 11.
Okay, 15 minutes straight then. The gentlemen are not yet here. Fine, I will wait for them. Yes, Mr. Ramsepin.
Thank you, my lord. I mean, that's it. Now, moving on from Carltonville at Sibanye Stillwater on the 18th of June 2020. Your next interaction with accused number 2 is on the 19th of June 2020 at his place of residence. You recall that incident?
That's correct, my lord.
Senihambile manje nisukile khona ke esibanye nge-18 ka June 2020 maniphinda ke manje senihlangana naye umsolo wesibili kula ayehlala khona ngazo i-19. Yebo kuyiqiniso?
And for the purposes of brevity, I am not going to regurgitate all the evidence that was put on behalf of accused number 2 by Mr. Mgomezulu during the trial within the trial. Just on this aspect of the hoodie that the witnesses mentioned, the purpose of the excursion to Rustenburg was to search for that hoodie, according to the evidence, correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Ngokubufakazi-ke isizathu sokuthi ke iwe Rustenburg ngalelo langa kwakuyobheka yona ke i-hoodie le awufakazi abakhuluma ngayo.
And according to the evidence, no such hoodie was found. Other sorts of hoodies and different colors were found, but not specifically the one that is alleged by the witnesses to have been worn by accused number 2 on the 26th of October 2014.
That's correct, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso-ke ukuthi yebo akhona amanye ama-hoodie atholakala-ke kodwa ayona lena-ke ofakazi babekhuluma ngayo bathi yona ayeyigqokile ngazo i-26 October 2014.
And I just want to clarify something, but it's something also that you can comment on if you can comment. But I think Brigadier Gininda is the one that touched on this aspect mainly, which is the so-called first alibi of accused number 2, that at the boardroom on the 17th of June, when he was asked about his whereabouts on the 26th of October, the answer he gave to Mohane was that I was at work. Remember that evidence?
My lord, I was not present when the accused number 2 was questioned.
Yes.
Uzokhumbula-ke mayelana-ke nanga lo mhlangano wange-17 ezika June boardroom-ke ukuthi-ke wathi uma ebuzwa umsolo wesibili kwathiwa uMkhane wathi-ke wathi wayesemsebenzini ngazo i-26 zika October 2014. Ngeshwa-ke ngangingekho lapho uma babemhloma ngemibuzo umsolo wesibili.
Yes, but the point really that I'm making is this. The HR manager of Sibanye Stillwater, Mr. Melder, testified in this court, and he corrected himself that what he said during the bail application of accused number 2, when he stated that accused number 2 was AWOL, absent from work without approval. He was incorrect because he didn't have proper full documentation, but when he testified in this court, he brought clocking records and leave form applications of accused number 2 that showed that from the 25th of October 2014 to the 1st of November 2014, accused number 2 was on unpaid approved leave. Therefore, he wasn't supposed to even clock on the 26th of October 2014. That evidence, did you hear it or are you aware of that evidence?
No comment, my lord.
Okay.
Kubufakazi bakhe ke umnumzana uMalda la ayesebenza khona ke umsola wesibili walungisa ke awayekhulume kwisicelo sebail la asho ayeshilo ke khona ukuthi umsola wayengekho ke emsebenzini engashongo noma ke engachazelanga umuntu kodwa umefika kule nkantolo ke waseletha ke amaphepha ke ayetshengisa ke ukuthi ngempela ke wafaka ke isicelo sokuthi ke angabikho emsebenzini noma nje wayengazi ukukhokhelwa ke lokubizwa ngokuthi ke unpaid akukho ke engifisa ukuthi ngikusho kulokho.
Now, the last, second last aspect that I want to touch on is what you were referred to by my learned colleague. A statement was handed to you yesterday by Mr. Mgomezulu pertaining to Nompilo Melangwane Sangweni. It's A94. Do you have A94 before you?
I do, my lord.
Yes, I'm not going to ask you regarding the aspect of the tangent that we took yesterday pertaining to black magic, seeing dead souls and all of that. But my point really is this, and this goes to count 3, which is robbery aggravating the taking of the S4 cell phone by the alleged intruders, especially according to Zandile Kumalo, it was taken by the first intruder with a firearm, the one with the dreadlocks. There is paragraph, it's not numbered in terms of paragraph. Let me try and make it easy for you. From the beginning, excluding the introduction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, page 6.
We have 5.
You have 5 pages. Mine goes to 6.
These ones are numbered.
Oh, the typed out ones, because I'm referring to the copy of the handwritten one. So let me see at the typed out one, which paragraph am I looking for, and I'll let you know. My lord, if I may give in a minute to find out the relevant paragraph, because I was using the copy of the handwritten document. In any event, I'm not sure what paragraph, because I can't readily see it from here. Let me just read it for you. It says, maybe you'll find it on your document, but it says, before Kelly left, she told me that the criminals got inside the house and they pretended as if they wanted her cell phone. But she was surprised because they didn't take the phone, they only killed Senzo. She found her phone next to the door.
Paragraph 14.
Paragraph 14. Thank you, Mr. Jonas. Yes, that paragraph 14. Now, and I'm not saying, Sergeant Mohola, that you interacted with Ms. Sangwene or you took a supplementary affidavit or you investigated this aspect. But what I'm putting in respect to country is this, is if Ms. Sangwene comes to this court and takes oath and confirms that Kelly Kumalo told her that the phone was not taken by the intruder, that she had a phone after this incident, and Kelly Kumalo does not come to this court to refute that allegation, would it be fair to say that this then blows out of the water the state's case regarding the count 3?
As it is not, we submit that that is an unfair question. We have the evidence of Lieutenant Colonel Stein, who testified that there's objective evidence that shows that the phone went in the direction of the hostel. This shows just the danger of putting hearsay evidence on record.
Kunombuzo ke la obubuza uyena ke ummeli ngoba lana ke kwistatement esifundiwe izolo sakhe uNompilo Sangweni uthi nje ngaphambi kokuthi uKelly ahambeke wangitshela ke ukuthi ke igebengu lezo zangena ngaphakathi endlini benzisa ke ingathi bafuna i-cellphone kodwa ke kwamangaza ke ngoba abakaze abayithathanga i-cellphone kodwa babulala uSenzo wayithola ke i-cellphone yakhe eduze nesicapha emumva kokuthi behambile uthi ke ummeli uma ngempela ke uSangweni angeza ke lana akusho lokhu aqinisekise noKelly angezike enkantolo ezokuphikisa lokhu kusho ukuthi ke lecala leli ke balithwesiwe lokuphucwa kwefoni alikho mele umshushisi uyasho ke ukuthi ke lokho ke akukho akusilona ke iqiniso ngoba kunobufakazi ke bakhe uKenneth Stein ungathi ke ethula ubufakazi bakhe la enkantolo ukuthi ke ifoni leyo ke yahamba ke ngalelo langa futhi uma ke beyibheka ke kuyindlela ababheka ngazo ke ukuthi ke yayanga kuhlangothi la ngase hostel.
My Lord, I'm happy for that objection because, and I'm happy.
Why are you happy?
Yes, because my learned colleague has told us an expert from Vodacom who deals with cell sites and all of that will come and testify because I'm a layperson, I can't even mention to court, but the radius of where the phone is located is not actually that which Mr. Stein said about, but we will cross the relevant expert and withdraw that
Mr.
question.
Stein actually estimated the distance. You remember that evidence?
Yes, he said 5 kilometers, I remember.
Yes.
But the real person that deals with cell sites will come and
But that's an expert
educate
also.
us. Sorry?
Stein is not an expert, analyst.
I've never disputed that. He deals with the analysis. I mean, somebody who deals with cell towers, how they locate, how they ping phones and all of that.
He also mentioned the cell tower, Stein.
Yeah, but he was reading it from a document. He couldn't explain to us, my lord. But let's wait for the expert that is coming. My lord, those are the questions that I'll have for the witness. I'm thankful.
Chike msela msipile uzolinda yena ke ungoti lo wakwa Vodacom ke ukuba uyena ozosho ke ukuthi ifoni leyo yayikuphi nendawo.
My lord, before I sit down, let me find out from accused number 1.
Yeah, fine. I remember Mr. Numalo also tested that version, remember? You remember Mr. Numalo?
Yes,
About
sir.
a white cell phone.
Yes, through
I
Constable
remember
Mosia.
every evidence here. You cross-examined on that aspect.
Yeah, it appeared that it was not robbed.
Yeah,
during
yeah. You don't remember cross-examining about a cell phone?
Yeah, I do remember. But it remained.
Which was not there. And then you cross-examined about the sofas, blah, blah,
Yes,
blah, 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 blah. All in my mind.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. I mean, that's it. I've got no further questions.
Yes, Mr. Mseki.
My Lord, Advocate Nisi requested that counsel for accused 4 and 5 may proceed with their cross-examination, and if there is a need after that, he will then request that the witness be recalled to give evidence.
So you're making an application on behalf of him, on his instructions, that he
No.
forgoes chronologically his cross-examination after Ramos Sepidi and gives leave that accused number 4's counsel and number 5's counsel, they can in the meantime cross-examine the witness, and when he comes, if there is any need for him to cross-examine, we will do so later.
That's correct, my lord,
Okay.
and I believe he has also related that to the court yesterday.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
Thank you, my
Yes,
lord.
Mr. Ngumalo, okay.
Mr. Mncube ke nanjengoba ummeli wakho engekho uMr Nyeki ke ommeli uthi ucelile ke ummeli wakho ukuthi ke ummeli ka number 4 number 5 bangaqhubeka ke bona uma esebuyile ke uma sikhona ke isidingo uzombiza ke futhi ufakazi uma kukhona afuna ukuthi ke noma okuyizathu sokuthi ambize futhi.
Just place your name on record because I know you. But if this matter goes to any other court, they'll be surprised if Mr. Mnisi is not here. Who's talking on behalf of accused number 3?
My lord, my name is Munyeki. The initial is B. I'm standing in for Advocate Munis.
On behalf of?
Accused number
Hey, my
4,
lord.
my lord.
Fine. Yeah.
Number 3, my lord.
Okay.
Well, I do have questions to the witness.
Hello, sir.
I do have questions to the witness. May I proceed with
Yes,
my-
yes.
Thank you. Sergeant, Sergeant Tsiya testified that on the 6th of July 2020, he, at about 12:41, he took buccal swabs from accused number 4 at Louis Cop prison. You confirm you had that evidence? You confirm that evidence?
I was not in court.
Yeah. Okay.
Bengekho senkantolo ke uma ke uthi ethuka ke ufakazi athi ke waya ke eliko prison kuyena umsolwa wesine.
Are you aware of that?
When, my lord, the buccal swab was taken from accused number 4, my lord, I was present.
Kodwa ke uma ke lokho kwenzeka ke noma ke thatha lokho ufakazi ke na ke umsolwa wesine ngangikhona.
Is it correct that the buccal swabs of accused number 4 were packed and sealed in seal bag number PA 400 4638062? Do you confirm that?
400.
4638062.
That's correct, my lord.
Okay. Yebo kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi ke wakufakwe kule sikhwama sobufakazi esiku PA 400 463 8062.
Sergeant, are you aware that this bag number was forwarded to the Forensic Science Laboratory in Pretoria?
My lord, I am aware.
Ngiyazi ke ukuthi kwase kudluliselwa ke lesi sikhwama lesi ke kwi lab ke yamaphoyisa ke ekhona la ePitoli.
Sergeant, do you confirm that the results of this DNA, that is the buccal swabs, the results or the outcome of the analysis, it was negative? Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware, my lord.
Angazi ke ukuthi iphuma noma imiphumela ke yalocwaningo lolu yabuya ke ngathi ke uma sasebenzisa lona ke igama ukuthi yayi negative.
Is it negative according to the expert who testified? Is it negative or non-conclusive? Those are the terms he used. When I said inconclusive, he said no. The scientific term for it is not conclusive. You remember that?
Yes, I remember that. I'll have to go with the report,
No.
unfortunately.
Well, you say negative, fine. But he says it's non-conclusive. And because he says it is very rare to get to do an analysis of DNA
Not,
and not find some points which coincide, except that
Yes.
they've got to coincide in all the tables.
yes, non-conclusive in the
I
sense
remember
that
his
it was not
evidence.
positive.
That's why he says it is non-conclusive.
Yes.
But when you say it's negative, it means there was no matching analysis
At all.
in all the DNA sample.
Yes, I'll have to revisit the report.
Okay, fine.
Yes, thank you. Sergeant, you testified that you have been in charge of this investigation since 2018, so it's a period of about 6 years.
I have been in charge.
Dealing with this case, the 636 docket, you took over the investigation from 2018.
I did not take over took over, my lord, of any investigations.
Okay, what did you do?
Angikaze ke ngithathe uphenyo ngithi ke kukhona la engilithathe khona noma lwandluliswa ke bese ngase ngiyalithatha ke mina.
What did you do? Did you commence with your investigation from 2018?
My lord, I will get instructions, my lord, to follow up on some information. I will get instructions, my lord, to obtain statements. I'll get instructions, my lord, to take the exhibit to the forensic science laboratory. And I will get instructions, my lord, to maybe to accompany, to be part of the team. For instance, we went to Pukeng, I was there.
No, it's fine.
Ngangithi mina ngitholeke noma ngitshelweke ukuthi ke mhlambe nanjengoba saya ke ephukeni hambe ngiyothatha ke ama statements ke noma nginikezwe umsebenzi othize okufanele ngikwenze yilokho okwakwenzeka.
From when did you do that exercise?
From when?
From which year?
Around 2018, my lord.
Kwenzeke lokho ukuqala ke noma kusuka ke ngayo 2018.
So we have been doing that for 6 years.
That's correct, my lord.
Iminyaka ke eyisithupha leyo.
Sergeant, is it correct that part of the evidence that the state, that is the state and the police relied on heavily against my client, accused number 4, is a confession statement which was allegedly made by accused number 2. Do you confirm that?
My lord, I cannot confirm anything.
Ingaba kuyiqiniso yini ukuthi ke ubufakazi ke umbuso kanye ke namaphoyisa abanawo ke ngakulo wengimeleke unumber 4 yiloko ekuthiwa noma ke enithi kwashiwa uyena unumber 2 egunyuluka uthi ke akukho engaqinisekisa.
Okay, according to you, what is the information that you have in the docket which implicates my client, accused number 4?
My lord,
in this
as I
case?
said before that I know part of the investigations, my lord. At this point, I cannot really say what is it, my lord, that is linked, my lord, in connection of accused number 4. But Brigadier Kininda will be the one, my lord, who will give the overall view, my lord, of the state case.
Inike eninayo ke ngokufakazi noma ngokophenyo ke kuyena ke number 4 bengishilo ke ngaphambilini ukuthi ke ngazi ingxenye ke yomsebenzi ke noma ubufakazi ke okhona lana ukuthi yinike umbuso onayo ke ngakuyena number 4 angeke ngikusho ke kodwa yena ke uma sefika noma seza ke uBrigadier Kininda uyena ke manje osezo kusho konke ke ukuthi icala lombuso lingani.
So, from that part of the information that you have, I mean, I'm being direct now. What information do you have that implicates my client from the information that you have?
That's the good question, Lord. I don't think that's a fair question. Evidence is being presented. Colonel Stein has testified about the communication between the accused as well as Colonel Hose. It's for this court to decide and not for this witness.
Mshushishi utakuyena ke lofakazi ozothatha leso sinqumo ukuthi ubufakazi anabo uKolonel Stein ufakazileke ukuthi kwakunokuxhubana phakathi kwabasolwa noKolonel Hose ukufakazileke lokho.
Yes, Mr. Meyiwa.
Sergeant, let me be direct now. Part of the investigation, according to your Brigadier, that is Brigadier Kininda, is a statement, a confession statement that was made by accused number 2, implicating my client, accused number 4.
Say, you wanted to answer. No, she says she doesn't know. You wanted to answer that. You quoted the law and said that, is that Mr. Ngomezulu? You cannot use the confession of accused number 2, number 1. You remember that recitation?
Yes, I haven't finished.
Now you're asking her. You don't foresee any danger in doing that?
I'm not finished with my question, my lord.
You said it, and then I kept quiet. Now you're repeating it. Is it correct that, Sergeant, you used the confession or the statement of accused number 4, of number 2, to follow if you have a case against number 4? That's what you said.
Yes.
And then I just let it pass.
Yes, I haven't denied that, my lord. I said it.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
As long as I've warned you.
Yes.
The law says I must warn you.
Yes.
Because the law is clear. Is it 219, sir?
It's 219.
Yes,
I do have
219
those
says you
provisions.
cannot use.
Yes.
But if you interrogate a witness about that, what happens, Mr. Ramsipiti?
I haven't sucked
Okay,
any,
fine, let's
I haven't
continue.
sucked any information from the statement that was made by accused number 2, my lord.
Okay, right.
Lana ke inkantolo isiyamxwayisa-ke noma iyamkhumbuza-ke ummeli ukuthi-ke nanjengoba umthetho usho-ke ukuthi uma ngabe kusetshenziswa-ke istatimende sokugonyuluka-ke senziwe omunye umsolwa asetshenziswa ngakomunye, kodwa-ke manje ngombuzo obuza ufakazi-ke usufuna aphenduleke kuzokwenzekani-ke manje lobo bufakazi sebuyasetshenziswa-ke.
Maybe
Yes.
I should
No.
repeat the question.
Please repeat the question.
Yes, let me repeat the question for you. According to Brigadier Ginda, in the statement that he made when he was applying for a warrant of arrest, amongst others, it is the evidence of a confession statement that accused number 2 made implicating my client, accused number 4. Are you aware of that? Of
My
that
lord-
statement which was made by Brigadier Ginda?
My lord, I cannot comment, my lord, on behalf of the statement that was disposed by Brigadier Geninda.
Kwisicelo sakhe-ke asenza-ke Brigadier Ginda-ke noma la esho ukuthi yini-ke ehlanganisa umsolwa wesine-ke ukhulume nangestatimende esogonyuluka-ke esenziwa uyena umsolwa wesibili ekhuluma ngayo umsolwa wesine,
Ginda.
futhi-ke angikho kwisimo-ke sokuthi ngingakhuluma ngestatimende sakhe uBrigadier Ginda.
Okay, maybe I should reserve that question for Brigadier Ginda.
Please.
Can you speak a bit up, sir?
Yes,
This,
maybe I should. Yeah, there's aircon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is hovering above us. I'm saying, let me then reserve that question for Brigadier Ginda, not you.
Please.
Sergeant, is it correct that from the evidence that has been turned out in this court, there is no evidence from the witnesses who were in the house implicating my client, accused number 4?
My lord, that will be a matter for argument.
When you say there is no, I'm with you. I'm just commenting after Mr. Baloyi. You see, you're making it like as if there is no evidence whatsoever. That's why he's objecting, says it's a matter for argument. Because we have, and I'm not prejudging anything, we had an analyst say the people communicated. You heard that?
I've reserved that cross-examination, my lord.
Yeah, I'm saying.
So
but you are
I
asking
don't think it would be
him-
proper for
no,
me
No,
to-
Mr. Ngumalo, if you
Yes.
are wrong sometimes, just concede. Man. You lose nothing, you learn.
Yes. No, I do concede that.
Yeah, because there
But-
is evidence, according to the state, not me,
Yes.
through the mouth of House. Okay, let's go on.
But on that point, my lord, I just wish to clarify that there is no evidence when that communication occurred. With regards to the date.
Yeah, okay, if you qualify it like that,
yes,
fine, no
I just
problem.
wanted to qualify that.
Yeah,
yes.
qualify it, no
Yes,
problem.
so we cannot heavily rely on that evidence at this moment. Is it also correct, ma'am, that from the evidence that we are having at present, that is today, from the commencement of this case, there is no evidence whatsoever from the witnesses who identified my client in the vicinity of the crime scene? Do you confirm that?
My lord, I don't know.
Ngaba kuyiqiniswa-ke ukuthi njengamanje silana-ke ukuthi abukho ubufakazi-ke la ofakazi khona-ke basho-ke ukuthi sambona-ke umsolwa wesine mduze nala isehlakalo senzeka khona-ke angazi.
Simply because the evidence is not presented to me.
Ngoba-ke ubufakazi abethuka kumina.
But ma'am, Sergeant, you cannot just take the contents of the docket without you having gone through the statement. You are part of the investigators of this case. I was telling this court that you don't have any information about the events of this case.
My lord, I have already laid evidence, my lord, on what I know about this case, my lord. And maybe you can kindly confront me with the statement which I have, whereby I am the author of
Mina ke ukuthi ngenzani ke noma eyami ingxenye yayini ke kulecala bese ngibethulileke ubufakazi mhlambe ke usungangibuza ke ngestatement esabhalwa yimini.
Moving forward, Sergeant, do you confirm, Sergeant, that there is no evidence from independent witnesses up to so far detailing that they did identify the Polo Vivo in the vicinity of the crime scene where the two intruders got in and it sped off? Do you confirm that?
My Lord, I cannot confirm because I do not know.
Ngakusho ke ukuthi ke akekho ufakazi noma ofakazi ke abashilo ke la kule nkantolo ke ukuthi bayibona ke iPolo Vivo eduze ke nala isihlakalo senzeka khona ke la ukuthiwa ke laba ababili bangena kuyona angeke ngikusho ke lokho.
The two cell phones, the handset of accused number 1, Mrs. Beer, we told this court that you forwarded them to the Brixton War Room. Do you confirm that?
May you please repeat the question, my Lord?
Do you confirm that you told this court that the two cell phones, the handset that belonged to accused number 1, were forwarded to the Brixton War Room?
I can confirm, my Lord.
Yebo ngaqinisekisa ukuthi ngishilo ukuthi ama cellphone amabili ke wakhe umangalo wokuqala ke angingawandolisela iWar Room yase Brixton.
For download. You said they were forwarded there for download.
That's correct, my Lord.
Isizathu salokho ke kwakuyokuthola ke imininingwane lokubizwa ngokuphethelezi ke i-download.
Sergeant, have you received the results of the download of the two cell phones?
My Lord, there is results, my Lord, of the downloads.
Yebo imiphumela yalokho ke noma yalawo makhalekhukhwini ababili ikhona.
Who downloaded the two handsets?
My Lord, I believe it was Sergeant Mabasa.
Cabanga ukuthi kwakuwu-Sergeant Mabasa ke umuntu owayesebenza ke ngawo lawo ma-cellphone amabili.
Sergeant, do you know if one of the handsets that you sent for downloads at the Brixton War Room had the number 079-379-0137?
My Lord, I did not analyze the downloads.
Ingabe uyazini ukuthi ke omunye walabo makhalekhukhwini ababili ke wayenenumber ewu-079 379 0137 mina ke akusimina ke umuntu okwakucwaninga noma ecwaninga ke labo makhalekhukhwini.
Do you know if the Section 205 application was made in respect of this number?
I have no idea, my Lord.
Anginalo ke ulwazi ukuthi ke kunesicelo ke noma lokho kubizwa phecelezi ku Section 205 mayelana nale number lena eqedwe ukubizwa.
Do you know if the Section 205 records were received in respect of this number?
I have no idea, my Lord. You can put that question to Brigadier Kininda.
Nokuthi ke futhi mayelana nale number lena futhi ke lo Section 205 ngicela 205 cela ukuthi loyo mbuzo lowo ubuzeke kuyena uBrigadier Kininda.
You have not analyzed the Section 205 records.
My Lord, I'm not an analyst, my Lord. Brigadier Kininda was the one who was coordinating, my Lord, the Section 205, the analyzing of the 205 and the downloading. So I have no knowledge of that.
Angisiyena ke umcwaningi umuntu ke owayesebenza ngalokho ke nalawo ma Section 205 bese cwaninga kubheka ke ukuthi imiphumela yalokho yini kwakuyena uBrigadier Kininda.
My Lord, I have no further questions because
Okay, thank
it
you.
seems like Brigadier Kininda is the one who is in charge of everything in this case.
Yes, he's the boss.
I don't seem to get positive answers from the witness.
Is it like Ramaphosa with the government ministers?
He's got the cabinet ministers. Maybe she's one of the ministers, I don't know. I mean in the rank of the SAPS. Thank you. I have no
Okay,
further questions,
thanks.
Mr. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Msholola?
Ma'am, I've got just few questions on the point of clarity on the general investigation of this case.
Okay.
Okay. You said when were you tasked to investigate in this matter?
2018, my lord.
Nemibuzo nje embalwa ke mayelana ke nophenyo njena lwaleli cala leli konje uthena cala nini ukuthi niphenye icala leli ngo-2018.
Okay. At the time when you were tasked to investigate in this matter, were you aware of the second docket, which is docket case number 375, which is also part of this case?
I was not aware, my lord.
Ngaleso sikhathi siqala ke uphenyo lana noma bayingxenye ke yethimba eliphenyayo ngangingenalo ke ulwazi mayelana nedokodo lesibili elu-375.
But did you eventually become aware of that case?
That's correct, my lord.
Kodwa ke ngokuhamba kwesikhathi ke ngase ngiyazi ke ngalo.
Okay, when did you become aware of that case, of that docket?
My lord, I cannot recall, but I became to know about the docket because, my lord, simply because I'm the one who's bringing the docket to court.
Angisazi isikhathi ukuthi ngaqala nini ukwazi ngalo lelo dokodo kodwa ke ngiyazi ukuthi ke kwafika isikhathi la ngazi khona ngoba yimina ke oletha amadokodo enkantolo.
Okay. And who is the investigating officer in that case?
I was told, or I was briefed that it's Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi.
Ngatshelwa ke ukuthi ophenyayo kuleli cala ke uLieutenant Colonel Buthelezi.
Okay. Is she alone in that case, if you know?
I know that she's working with Warrant Officer Makubu.
Ngiyazi ke ukuthi usebenza no Warrant Officer Makubo.
And then on this case number 363, it's yourself, Colonel Ginda, Sergeant Mohane. Am I correct? 3 of you.
That's correct, my lord.
Kuleli ke elu-636-10-2014 mina Brigadier Kininda no Sergeant Mukhane.
Is it correct that as a team of investigating officers, you will share the information that has been captured in a docket, or that you are busy with whatever that is happening, the affairs of the docket? Am I correct? Or it happens the other way? You can just assist me there.
My lord, if there's a senior officer, my lord, in that investigation, my lord, you cannot.
Or you don't work together, you work individually?
No.
You-
As I said, Brigadier Kinenda is the lead investigating officer.
Okay,
Yes. So he will just give us the task to do for the day.
okay.
If you want us to get involved in whatever investigation that is supposed to be followed on that day.
Okwenzekayo ke nanjengoba uBrigadier Kininda kuyena ke umholi kuyena oyinhloko kwithimba leli ke uma kunomsebenzi okufanele ukuthi wenziwe ngalelo langa ke usezositshela ke noma usezosithuma ke ukuthi kunomsebenzi noma uphenyo oluthize kufanele lwenziwe ngalelo langa lelo.
Okay, I understand that one. That's a basic wherein the senior will give instruction to juniors to conduct some work. But I'm interested in the briefing in the case amongst all the team members that are investigating this case, to say, look, this is what we have, this is what we still need to get, updating each other, each members on the developments of the investigation in a docket. Would you do that, or you didn't do that in this case?
I think it will be proper for you to put that question to Brigadier Kininda.
Yeah.
Because as I'm saying, I would just be commanded to do some tasking.
Kodwa ke mina engifisa ukwazi ukuthi ke njenge team ba ke ngaba niyahlangana yini bese niyakhuluma niyaxoxisana ke ukuthi manje ke kwenzeke lokhu kuphenyo ke enilwenzile ngicabanga ukuthi lo mbuzo kuzofanele ke ubuzeke kuyena uBrigadier Ginda ngoba bese ngishilo ke ukuthi mina ngizokwenza lokho engikutshelwayo ukuthi angikwenze.
Before Mr. Ginda comes in, because we are also part of the investigating team, and you are the member of the SAPS, I want to understand the role played by you in the investigation. But before I go into that, I need to get clarity on you if you will have time to discuss the developments in the case that you were investigating together, or a person will just work individually and not report back to the team.
My Lord, when we receive an instruction, my Lord, from Brigadier Ginda pertaining to the task, my Lord, that we have to conduct, we will obviously report to him or brief him of whatever it is that we have ventured on. But we can't say it vice versa, because we account to Brigadier Ginda, but Brigadier Ginda does not account to us. He has seniors that he accounts to. Probably he does go to them and report of the progress of the case.
Engifisa ukwazi ke mina ke ukuthi na njengethimba elisebenzayo ke nisebenza njengethimba niyahamba ke niyokwenza umsebenzi niyabuya ke manje bese niyakhuluma niyatshelana ke ukuthi kwenzekeni ke okwenzekayo ke lana ukuthi thina ke na njengabantu ke abasebenza ngaphansi kwa Brigadier Ginda uma kuukuthi bekufanele siyophenya ke sokwenza umsebenzi siyabuya ke sesizomtshela ke kodwa yena ke akabuyi aze kuthina akazositshela ngoba bakhona ke asebenza ngaphansi kwabo mhlambe uyaya kubona ke ayuba nikeza umbiko ukuthi kwenzekeni.
Okay. Thank you very much for that answer. Let's move forward. There is evidence which was laid before this court regarding the warrant of arrest that was issued against Ms. Kelly Khumalo. Do you remember that part of evidence?
My Lord, I don't.
Angikhumbuli ke lo angibukhumbuli lobo bufakazi lobo mayelana nencwadi ke egunyaziswa ukuboshwa kwakhe uMs Kelly Khumalo.
Are you aware? Do you know if there is any warrant of arrest that was issued against Ms. Kelly Khumalo in this docket 636? Is
My
there
Lord.
or not?
As a good policeman, I think issued is not the correct word. I think Brigadier Ginda did say there's a draft application.
That's what Ginda said. Eh?
Yes.
He said the draft is in the docket,
Yes.
if I recall the evidence.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you for correction. Are you aware of that?
Of the draft,
Yes.
the application for the warrant.
Yes.
Yes, I am aware, my Lord, because I was briefed by Brigadier Ginda.
Igama ke sithi hayi ukuthi yikhishiwe noma yakhishwa ke lencwadi kodwa sikhona ke isicelo esiyingxenye ke yeDocket yeba ke ngiyakwazi lokho ukuthi khona ke isicelo sikhona ke mala ke nencwadi yokuboshwa kwakhe uMs Kelly Khumalo uBrigadier Ginda wangazisake ngalokho.
Are you aware also why that application for that warrant of arrest has not been authorized against Ms. Kelly Khumalo?
My Lord, I am not aware.
Angazi ke ukuthi kungani ke ukuthi ke sengeka sayindwa ukuthi ke leyo ncwadi ke ayisetshenziswe ke ngokuboshwa kwakhe uMs Kelly Khumalo.
Okay. There is also evidence which was tendered by Colonel Stein in this case of the communication between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and Mr. Ntuli. I'm waiting for the interpretation.
I'm waiting for the witness to press that.
But the question is the question complete?
I'm waiting for the interpretation. There is evidence before this court which was tendered by Colonel Stein regarding the communication between the cell phone number alleged to have been used by Ms. Kelly Khumalo and the cell phone number alleged to be linked with Mr. Ntuli in this case?
You can then
It's a
interpret.
statement.
Statement.
You
Answer,
remember?
I'll interpret it.
The evidence. My lord, I'm not aware.
Kunobufakazi ke bakhe uKenneth Steyn lana ke phambi kwale nkantolo ukuthi kwakunokuxhumana okwakukhona phakathi kwakhe uMiss Kelly Khumalo kanye noMnumzana uNtuli angikwazi mina lokho.
Okay. The State Counsel, Mr. Baloyi, when he was leading the examination in chief to Lieutenant Colonel House, he referred the witness to the same communication between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and Mr. Ntuli in this matter. Did you hear that when Mr. Baloyi was putting that to the witness?
I did not hear that, my lord.
Umshushisi ke kulona lecala uadvocate uBaloyi uma ebuza ke noma ehloma uKenneth House ngemibuzo ke ukhulume ngayo ke noma ke ekhuluma ngabo lobo bufakazi lobo buka Kenneth Steyn obabusho ukuthi kwakunokuxhumana kwakukhona phakathi kuka Miss Kelly Khumalo no Mr. Ntuli angikuzwanga mina lokho.
If, for argument's sake, it will be proved or it can be said that there was a communication between Ms. Kelly Khumalo and Mr. Ntuli, is there an offense there? According to your knowledge as part of the investigating team in this case?
My lord, I have no comment.
Uma ngempela ke sekungaveza ke noma sekungatshengiswa ke ukuthi ngempela kwakhona ukuxhumana kwakukhona phakathi kwakhe uKelly Khumalo kanye noMr. Ntuli ingaba khona yini icala kulokho akukho engaphawula ngakusho kulokho.
Okay, thank you. Lastly, you'll correct me if I heard you wrong. Yesterday when we were under cross-examination by my learned friend Mr. Mngomezulu about the content of the confession statement which was made by accused number 1. You said, or you testified and said, you could see that accused number 1 was misleading in that confession. Did I hear correctly, or maybe you can correct me, what exactly did you say regarding the confession statement?
My lord, I did not say I could see.
Okay, correct me, what did you say?
I said he was misleading us based on the confession, because after the confession was obtained, my lord, from him, then we got a briefing to say this is what he said. Let's follow up on this information.
Uzosho ke uma ngakuzwanga kahle ke izolo uma usihlonywa imibuzo ke uyena uMr. Mngomezulu uthe wabona ke ukuthi umangalelo woqala ke uyanikhohlisa ke ngaloko akusho. Cha, angishongo ukuthi ngabona, ngathi ke muva kokuthi esekonyulukile ke sase siyahlanganiswa ke siyatshelwa ke kwathiwa ke asilandelele lokho ke akushilo khona lapho ku statement.
And my lord, I can verify that by saying upon following the people which he has included, my lord, on his confession, it was discovered that those people were in prison. So you can draw a conclusion to say it was misleading.
Ngempela ke sase siyalandelela ke lokho esikutsheliwe noma lokho akushilo yena ke kwistatement sakhe sokonyuluka kwatholakala ukuthi labo bantu labo abashilo lapho kwistatement sakhe babe sejela noma beboshiwe ngaleso sikhathi yila khona ke manje usungahlanganisela khona ke wena ke ukuthi lo muntu lona ebengakhuluma iqiniso.
Okay, so is it your evidence that the statement made by accused number 1 is misleading before this court?
The confession?
Yes, the confession. I'm talking about confession, sorry.
My lord,
It's misleading. The confession made by accused number 1 is misleading. That is before this court.
my lord, I said
Yeah, we are
This
all aware
aspect
that.
was also traversed yesterday. The witness said it's confined just to those two names.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the evidence. Now it's been put to her that the whole confession.
According to your understanding, you know the facts as per the indictment in this case. Am I correct? I mean the facts, I mean the allegations to say on or about the accused killed the deceased in this matter.
my lord, I know, my lord, the date of the incident, but I don't want to be confined, my lord, to answer like of what is contained, the whole information that is contained on the indictment, because I will make an error. So I cannot, you can't put me in a situation to say I must agree to say, yes, I know.
Angithi uyazazi ke insolo ngoba njengoba sibhaliwe zikhona ke kwiDocket mayelana necala leli ukuthi ngelanga elithile kwenzeka lokhu. Yebo ngiyazi ke ukuthi ke ilanga lo kodwa ke ngeke manje usuthi ke angifanele nje ngibheke kulokho ngoba ke mhlawumbe angifuni ukuthi ngingenza iphutha.
Okay, I'll just repeat it for you. I'll just say it to you. Let me unpack what the allegations are before this court. It is alleged that the accused before this court, on or about the 26th day of October 2014, they killed the deceased in this matter. That is what is contained in the indictment. Do you understand now?
I understand, my lord.
Insolo ke uma ngingathi nje kafushane ngikutshele zona ke ukuthi ke ukusola ngokuthi abamangalelwa ke laba abaphambi kwale nkantolo bani nge-26 ngazi i-26 noma ke ngaleso sikhathi leso sange-26 October 2014 babulala yena ke umufi kuleli cala leli.
Okay, that's the indictment. And then the statement made by the accused number 1 says the deceased was killed by other people other than people mentioned in the indictment. Am I correct?
My lord, can you get the indictment? And further, my lord, I'm not the one I'm not the one, my lord, who gave out or given the investigating officer the indictment. I'm not the one who issued. I'm not the one who issued the indictment. So I'm not in a position, my lord, to comment about the indictment.
Bese kuthi ke manje ke istatement esakhe ke yena umsolo wokuqala sikhuluma ngabanye abantu engasibona laba abahlezi lapha akusimina ke umphenyi ke noma nje ngibithi Max kodwa kusimina umphenyi owakhipha ke incwadi lena ke abathweswa ngayo amaqala abebiza ngokuthi phecelezi ke indictment.
Okay, maybe let me move away from the indictment. Let's remove the indictment. You were tasked as the member of the SAPS to investigate the people who killed the deceased in this matter on or about the 24th of October 2014. 26 October 2014. That's the date of the deceased in this matter in which you were allocated or appointed as the investigating officer. Am I correct? The date of the incident in this case that you are dealing with.
I was appointed, you are saying I was tasked to investigate?
Yeah, tasked or appointed, whatever, but you were appointed to deal with this matter wherein the deceased was killed in October
That's correct.
2014.
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo kuyiqiniso ke ukuthi asinikezwa ke umsebenzi lo ke ophenya ke ukuthi obanike bani noma obanike ababulala ke umufi ngaleli langa leli langa 26 sika October 2014.
Then you investigated the case, and as a result of your investigation, the accused before this court were arrested.
That's correct, my lord.
Sase siyaphenya ke kuphenyo lwethu ke kwase abamangalelwa ke laba abahlezi enkantolo ke manje bayaboshwa.
However, we've got another evidence in the statement made by accused number 1 which refers to other people who are not the accused before this court.
I hear you.
Kodwa ke sinabanye abantu abashiwoyo ke kwistatement esakhe ummangalelo woqala engasibona ke abamangalelo abaphambi kwale nkantolo ngiyakuzwa.
And we've got a person whose application draft for warrant of arrest is still pending since you investigated and submitted it in the NPA, that one of Ms. Kelly Kumalo, who is not before this court.
My lord, I cannot comment on that.
Futhi siphinde futhi ke sibe nalesi sicelo ke la amaphoyisa enze isicelo khona ke kwabashushisayo ukuthi kunale ncwadi esifakayo ke yokuthi ke sigunyazisweke noma sinikezweke ivume yokuyobopha ke uKelly Khumalo kodwa ke ngakasayindwa ke ngeshwa ke akukho engakusho lapho.
Okay, no problem. And we have another third set of a case docket of 375 referring to other suspects which are not before this court.
I hear you.
Siphinde futhi sibe nelinye idokodoke eli-375 elinabasolwa ke abangekho phambi kwale nkantolo ngiyakuzwa.
Okay. And we have the evidence which has been tendered before this court to say the accused before this court have been communicating each other. However, we have not, you as the investigating team, you have not filed the Section 205 records regarding those cell phone numbers.
My Lord, when it comes to the Section 205, my Lord, and other things, my Lord, which I cannot comment on, my Lord, I think, Counsel, you can put that question to the lead investigating officer.
Siphinde futhi ke sibe nalobufakazi ke obukhona ke phambi kwale nkantolo obuthi ke kwakunokuxhumana kwakukhona ke phakathi kwabo abamangela phambi kwenkantolo kodwa ke nina ke niyamaphoyisa ke lawo lezo icelo lezo ke noma lama bizo ngokuthi Section 205 abukho ke noma abukho labo bufakazi lobo okuphathelene nalokho ke imininingwane ngomakhala ekhukhwini cabanga ukuthi lo mbuzo lo usungawuhloma kuyona ke ohola ithimba labaphenyi.
Thank you very much. We'll wait and hear which other evidence does you as the investigating team have against the accused before this court. Thank you, my Lord. I have no further questions.
Yeah. What do we do, Mr. Baloyi?
Few points in re-examination, my lord.
Aren't we waiting for Mr. Nis?
Oh, Mr. Nisi. Well, in that case, my lord, we'll then have to stand down until, I think he said to be here tomorrow.
Oh, Mr. Mseki, what are you saying?
Yeah, my lord, I confirm that Mr. Mrs. said he will be here tomorrow.
Next time, and it's not me saying that, it's the law. When you come to court and you're saying you're appearing in the stead of your leader, it means we are going to do what your leader would have done.
That's correct.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Just that I'm being very lenient. Another judge would say, no, do you have questions, sir? We are appearing on behalf of accused number 3. If you don't have questions, that's it. It passes. Because the assumption is we know what this witness has said. You know what the version of your client with Mr. Nisi has said. So you are capable of cross-examining on that. You won't come to court and just sit.
That's
And then-
correct. That's correct.
Are you with me?
That's
It
correct.
must make sense.
Yes, that's correct.
Does it not, sir?
It does not.
And I'm not excoriating you. I'm just saying that should be the procedure. Okay, fine.
That's-
So we'll wait for Mr. Nisi then tomorrow, is it? Yeah.
So tomorrow, my lord.
Sorry. May I address the court? My lord, when I took over from the date in which I indicated to the court that I'll be representing accused number 1, I requested my colleague, Mr. Baloyi, to furnish me with the 205 for the people that were inside the house, at Khumalo's house. Since then, I haven't received those Section 205s.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Murui.
I'm just placing it on record because I should make a follow-up on my request.
Yeah, you're right. What is your response, sir?
That forms part of the disc that was handed to the defense, but we have since asked the expert from Vodacom just to isolate those numbers and she has undertaken.
Individual numbers of all the people who were in
Yes.
the house.
Yes.
Okay.
Bese njengoba engekho ke advocate umnisi kuyacela ke ukuthi ngoba umshushisi bese kulungeleke ukuthi angaqhubeka ke kodwa ke yacela ukuthi asilinde kuze kube kusasa ke uma advocate umnisi ekhona ke kodwa ke lokho akwenzela ngaphandle kokuthi ke ijudge ke limtsheleke advocate Nyeke uyena ke umele advocate umnisi ukuthi ke uma bekumunye umehlukele bengeke avumeleke lokho ngoba uma ethi ke uzomela advocate umnisi bekufanele ukuthi ke unayo imibuzo anayo kodwa ke ijudge sekuzovunyelwa ukuthi silinde kuze kube kusasa abe khona advocate umnisi.
Are you available tomorrow, ma'am?
I am available, my lord.
Okay. Okay, tomorrow then at 10.